Hi, I'm Hannah Brown, and welcome to Better Tomorrow. My absolute favorite thing to do is have a heart-to-heart talk with my new friends and my best friends, where we sit down and talk about all the things like relationships and love, faith, and self-care. And of course, the little things as well, like the struggle to figure out what to eat tonight. All in all, I really want to ask, how am I better today than yesterday? And bring artists, entrepreneurs, and friends along on the journey. So join me on the journey, will you? It's the holiday season. Wow, we have made it. Thought it'd be fun to do a little recap of the year because it has been quite a year. And just kind of look back, reminisce on the good, the challenging, and all the things in between. But I would definitely say it's been a big year around here. Oh, we also have in the studio today, well, we always have producer Andrew in the studio today, but he's going to be helping me out with this episode.
Are you like a reminiscent, is that the word? A nostalgic person? Like when you get to an end of a season or a year, do you kind of like, does it make you happy or sad?
Oh, I think a little bit of both. I would say that I am a pretty nostalgic person because I'm a very deep feeler.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always like thinking back on how it could change, what was great, how it could have been better, what could I look forward to adding more of the good into my future, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I would love to be more of like a staying in the present person.
Goodness, so would I. I would love to just be able to like wrap up a season of life or like a year or even a vacation and not be like, man, but remember how excited we were in the beginning of the vacation and now it's over?
Oh yeah. That is one thing I really would like to improve on in this next year. And I feel like this is what I say every year, being more present, not being, so I can be one of those people that really like, I have a critical eye on things. So I'll be like, yeah, it was really great, but this one thing that could have been better. Yeah. I hate that I'm like that. So what I do like about the end of the year though, I do think that there is more that it's more nostalgic than always nitpicky. Like the way that I reflect is more of like in a way that I wish I was like every day. Like I reflect and I'm more like, okay, this could improve, but how wonderful was this? I wish I was like that every time in my life.
Well, that sounds kind of healthy.
Yeah, that is healthy at the end of the year. Like what I'm doing today, when I think back, I'm like, oh man, those are great things. But in a normal day, I'm not present and I'm thinking about how that conversation could have gone better. Why did I do this? Why did I not do that? All those things. But today we're not in that mindset. We're in a growth. Happy. Let's reflect, feel all the good feelings, but also be challenge ourselves in ways that we want more and less of this and that going into the new year.
Yeah. I feel like challenging yourself I like that word. Like in the past, we're 24 episodes in or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, I listened to every episode and I feel very challenged. Like I end a lot of the episodes thinking like, man, there's like great takeaways that I can actually apply to my life. And I mean, I'm not saying this to be cliche, but like be better tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you've done a really good job so I want to give you your flowers you've done a great job of crafting each episode and prepping for each episode to have legitimate takeaways for the listener to end the episode and be like, oh, I can go do A, B, and C and be better.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, it is. That's what I want from the podcast, for people to feel challenged. But man, sometimes I think, why do I have to be this way? That's just how I think. And I love being able to bring that to my listeners of like, okay, how can we hear from this person that has done these incredible things or gone through this hard time and decided to change, grow, and how can we be motivated and inspired by that? And I do feel like we've had some really great conversations on here that have provided that for me, and I hope for all the listeners too. But I don't know. I'm like, why is that such my personality? I'm always like, oh, how can I get it better? How can I? And I guess that's good.
Curious, what do you do to when you feel like your mind's racing and you're like, I just want to relax, but I can't slow down? Do you have any things that you like
Oh,
do regularly?
yeah. Well, that's like even just doing this podcast today where it's like the objective is not to challenge anyone today. Just making so I feel like I need to add more of that into my life and maybe even into this podcast, that like not everything has to be a challenge. I think it's great to be inspired and motivated, but I think things like this, just like having a conversation that the whole goal is just to be connected to someone and something. I think that is what I have to do to be able to shut off constantly feeling like I need to get better, do better, change. And not that that's bad, but I do think, oh gosh, just watching, like, honestly, what I do is I'll just watch like some type of animation, like movie, like animated movie, like a Disney movie that helps me shut off.
Yeah.
Where I don't know, it brings back some like nostalgia, I think, from being younger, but I will do that all the time. And that is kind of my way to like reset, get present. I'll like turn off my phone, throw it. I don't turn it off, but I like throw it somewhere or just let it die. That's kind of, it's always dead at some point, and at some point during the day. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it. Or just having like good conversations with my friends, my mom. Yeah. That's how I shut off, kind of. I don't know if I actually know how to fully shut off.
Sure. It's tough. What's your favorite Disney movie?
Oh, that's too hard. That's too hard of a question. But I did just watch one the other day that was so freaking good. What was the name of it?
Where do you even find Disney? Like, are Disney movies on Netflix?
Well, you have to have Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Oh
my gosh, y'all. My last movie that I watched, like animated Disney movie that I watched to like unwind, it's a Pixar movie, Elemental. Oh my gosh, you have to watch it. It was so good. But as far as picking a favorite, I can't, but I can tell you when I really liked one, and that one was awesome. You got to check it out.
I don't know if I don't think I've watched a Disney movie in probably 15 years.
You're kidding.
I just have no...
You don't like to watch like animated movies ever?
No, never. I had a buddy in college. This is so random. I had a buddy in college who every Saturday morning he would watch Moana at like 7 a.m.
Mine's not the same movie, but I understand your friend. It's like helps with my anxiety and like just brings me back to like, I don't know, just simpler times, I guess.
For sure.
And I love that it's like 7:00 on Saturday and it's Moana. That's amazing, but that's a good movie too.
Yeah.
I mean, at least he's watching a good one over and over again.
For sure. Okay, so a lot has happened in 2023.
Yeah.
You're probably the busiest person I know. I'd say that.
You really think so?
But busy in a good way. I think that busy sometimes gets a bad rap. I think you're busy in a good way of you're like doing a lot of things and you're pursuing a lot of dreams.
Yeah.
Outside of the podcast, so you can't say the podcast to this question.
Okay.
What's something that you've done in 2024 or 2023 that you're really proud of, or you feel like is like one of your biggest accomplishments?
Ooh. That's so hard. As somebody that's trying to change my outlook on like what accomplishments mean, as soon as I hear that word, it's like, oh, what way have I like won or done something?
Sure.
But I think the thing that I'm most proud of is that I just continue to push myself, even though sometimes I wish I would allow myself to relax. That we kind of like talked about earlier, I do really pride myself in not being complacent. And, I felt like I had gotten to like a pretty good place in my therapy. But then there was like, okay, like having this talk with my therapist, like we can go a little bit deeper. There's a lot of work here. And there's always the option to just be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good here. Or deciding like, oh, this is gonna like shake some things up and be uncomfortable, but I'm gonna keep going forward. I am proud of myself for just personally continuing to do that a lot this year, because honestly, this year started out so great. Like I felt like everything was so aligned. Like moving to Nashville was amazing for me. And it felt so good. And just everything, like preparing for the podcast, there was just so much like excitement and just really feeling like made some really good decisions personally, and everything was aligning. And even like getting like one of the first things I did was get a new therapist here, like really continuing that. But I do feel like this last part of the year has been more challenging than I thought it would be. And continuing to move forward through that challenge, like really like learning how to move through that water that feels like it's going in the opposite direction, but learning how to like really swim through it. I am proud of myself that I've done that.
One of the things that I admire about you is your like with therapy, my natural default would be like, oh, this is gonna shake things up. I'm gonna like pump the brakes here.
Yeah.
I like how things are. I don't need to shake it up. And you do a great job of like seeing I guess you're able to see what's on the other side of like this hill that you have to climb.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, and this is what I have to do to work through that, and being willing to work through that to get to like the end result is impressive, because I think a lot of people would be like, I don't I don't need to open this can of worms.
Yeah. One thing that I read the other day in a book that I was reading about anxiety is there is this false narrative in life that like the pursuit of happiness, like we're supposed to like, that's what our whole life is supposed to be about. And like we're always trying to find the things that make us happy, which I do think like moments of happiness are super great to live in, but that's not really what life is all about. I think it's actually not the pursuit of happiness, it's the pursuit of purpose that I choose and want to be on. But in the pursuit of purpose, it sometimes means you have to shake things up from like when things feel happy and great and seemingly perfect, deciding to be like, I think there's more to life than just this. That is so hard and kind of annoying. Hard to do, but kind of annoying that I feel like in my soul, like I have to do. Because sometimes that means you can't just like, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes I can't just be like, Hannah, can we just like pump the brakes and this be enough? And there's just like something inside me that's like, no, we've got to dig more.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You just got back from, well, you were in Puerto Rico, which looked awesome. But before that, you were in LA, right? It was in LA
Yes.
for Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah. Yeah. This past few weeks definitely like snuck up on me. I like last minute got a call for Dancing with the Stars to be on their season finale, which when Dancing with the Stars like 4 years ago, almost 2019, almost 4 years ago. and I had not danced since. And when they asked me, I immediately said yes. Like I got a call. They're like, would you want to be a part of something? We don't exactly know what it's going to be yet. And I was like, yes, because I don't know, like that time of my life was also just like so crazy. And I feel like I didn't fully get to always enjoy that experience. But then when I look back on it, I'm like, man, that was so cool. So to be able to be back in the ballroom and be a part of that, I'm like, I definitely want to do that. And then I got there and realized I had to learn a full dance again.
It was a full dance?
It was a full dance.
You were debating on, you were like, I don't want it to just be like, I don't know the language. Like, I don't want it to just be like
a little small something. Like
yeah.
But I also was like, I don't know if I want it to be a full dance.
And it was a full dance.
And it was a full dance. But it was really fun. It was fun to like move my body like that again. And I definitely felt like my perfectionist like coming up because I'm like, oh, I know this is not the exact way to do it, but it's like, Hannah, you have like 3 hours to learn this dance. Yeah, you're probably not going to do the correct technique.
Sure.
But then I just was like, you know what? I'm just going to have fun. And because I had so much fun, I picked up the dance so quick.
Nice.
And just was like, look, this is not going to be perfect, but I'm not being judged anymore. I'm just here to have a good time. And it was so much fun. But I went straight from Dancing with the Stars to Puerto Rico. So I took like a red eye after the show to Puerto Rico and then spent, I think 4 or 5 days there for one of our Adam and I's friends' birthday, his 40th birthday. And it was so great. I had never been to Puerto Rico. Have you been?
No.
It is actually really beautiful. It kind of reminded me of Hawaii, even though I don't think they're not close. But we like visited the rainforest there and did a catamaran day where we were out on the water, and then did like this really fun obstacle course. Like, remember like at like camps and things, they would have like all the blow up obstacle course things. Try doing that as an adult, and it's a lot harder.
Really?
Than you think it's going to be. Like we were all out of breath. So we did that one day. It was great. Like the food was awesome. And San Juan is like they have like Old Town San Juan. We did like a walking tour, and I'm such a weirdo on those things. I like really enjoy them. Like kind of like an old person.
Really?
Because I have ADHD, like I have to be in the front. And so I'm like very listening very intently, and our whole group was there, and then some of them like were in the back. And anytime I went back there, I was completely gone. I was off like walking around on my own, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I really like this." And then I would come back. The tour guide was like, "What is wrong with you?" Like I'll be like missing for 20 minutes, and then I'm right back like asking every question.
He's like, I just talked about this.
Yes.
5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I'm coming back and I like ask like every question that he just answered.
Is it because you enjoy is it like a history type deal?
I think I enjoy the history of it.
Huh.
And just learning. And there's so many cats.
Really?
Cats everywhere. I'm talking like it was kind of creepy. Creepy cats everywhere.
Do you like cats?
No. Oh gosh, I hate to even say that because I feel like people judge me, but cats kind of freak me out.
That's fair.
Have you heard that whole thing about cats? How if you were to die in your house and there was no food, you had a dog, they would basically starve themselves for about 3 weeks before they even, maybe started nibbling at a toe. Cats, 3 days, they start eating your face.
Yeah, dude, get out of here.
And I don't know if you watch anything about like big cats, they're so interesting, but like they will eat your face off, and cats are just scary. And so
I actually don't get the enjoyment of a cat. I don't understand it.
Oh, really? I do. The little purr, sweet, but
they usually don't enjoy people, right? Every cat that I see is like, I just want to be in a room or on a windowsill and leave me alone.
And they stare at you.
Yeah.
I know.
I don't understand the argument.
I would love to know why people love cats. But there are I kind of love their like independence. Like I admire a cat.
Sure. I could get on board with that.
I definitely admire cats because dogs, I could see where it's like, they'll just love you if you just look at them, you know? where a cat, you really have to win them over. Their affection is not just like
True. It's a little more
effervescent. I don't know if that's the right word, but they just like, they just don't really care about other people. And if they decide they like you, great. But if they don't cats.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
One of the questions that got asked in a Q&A was, Wally, your dog.
Yeah.
Would you ever get him a companion in 2024?
You know, I look at pictures of puppies all the time, and I have moments where I'm like, oh my gosh, it would be so great for Wally to have a little friend. But no, I don't think I can handle more Wallies. I mean, we're sending Wally to Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't really talk about Wally's bad boy character traits because they're kind of far and few between, but they are a little scary when they happen. And it's like a demon possesses him.
Sure.
And so we need the dog whisperer to get the demon out, because he goes from being the sweetest. I could like jump on his back. I could like mess with him, put my hand in his food bowl while I was eating, and it wouldn't matter. But if he decides he wants a piece of paper, you better watch out.
Yeah, it's like the most random thing.
Because he's going to eat your face.
Yeah.
And it's a little alarming.
Yeah.
And we've taken him to different trainings, but he didn't ever do it at the training.
Yeah, it's like so hard to
manufacture that type of situation, because it's not like every piece of paper. It's
just like when I want it.
But he's staying with my parents this week because my mom is coming, because we were in Puerto Rico, so she's with them, but my parents are now coming like tomorrow, so he just stayed a few days. He ate my mom's full steak off the counter. He never jumped up things. And it's like, I mean, we're not going to mess with a piece of paper. We're definitely not going to mess with a piece of steak.
Wow.
Because there's now this like, oh my gosh, he might actually eat me thing. So if we can't get control of Wally, there's probably no reason to add another one. Even though he's so freaking cute and I'm obsessed and I love him. He just has like this Damien spirit that needs to be like, we need an exorcism.
Deal.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear how it goes. Caesar Milan is the guy?
Yes, you know who Caesar Milan is.
Is he? That sounds
like people are like, I can't believe you're going to take your dog to Caesar. Caesar is like the dog whisperer, like the dog trainer. He has like all these different shows. And he works like, Chihuahuas can be kind of scary. Like he will like, there will be this dog that will like eat your face off, and then he comes around and they just roll over on their back. Like he has that presence. You've never seen Caesar?
I haven't, but he looks familiar. I feel like I've probably seen him somewhere on the internet.
Well, I just randomly was like, I'm just going to DM him, thinking there's no way he's going to see my DM, which he doesn't actually. Like he has somebody that helps him, and they reached out to me because I was just like, I don't know how to do anything for this, except for which people used to give me shit about it. I used to keep a leash on Wally all day.
Oh,
he was on a leash all day. And then I probably feel like I probably should have never stopped that, because that's what happened. Like I'll be in the bathroom or I'll be like getting ready, and that's when he goes and gets the paper. So it's either like I'm going to have to put him on a leash all the time, or we're going to try Caesar.
Yeah, this guy's going to take care of it.
I hope so.
Guarantee.
We'll see.
Let's wrap the episode up with holiday traditions. This is going to come out 2 days after Christmas, but yeah, what are you getting into over Christmas?
Yeah, well, this year is a little bit different. There's been a lot of stuff personally that's like I kind of hinted at, but don't want to share too much. Like there's been a lot that's happened this last part of the year, just personally, that's made things just more difficult. One including my grandfather has been super, super sick. And so my mom, bless her heart, like she hasn't been back to our house in Tuscaloosa in like 3 or 4 months. She's completely moved to our farmhouse in Mentone, Alabama, and is driving 2 hours back to Birmingham to work every day, then coming back home, going to see my grandfather in the nursing home because there was no way he could move back home after he got really sick. He can not even get out of bed. So she's going to stay with him every day. She goes and sees him, and then she drives back up the mountain to Mentone and has basically just had to like take everything and live fully up there.
Wow.
And so we are having Christmas in Mentone at our farmhouse, which is like really small. It's very different. She brought up like a lot of decorations. So like it's definitely decorated, but that's like this is my mom's favorite time of year. It's been like a lot more challenging, but it's still going to be awesome. We're going to celebrate there. And yeah, everything's a little bit different. Like even my mom's always been like, we're big gift givers and kind of gone a little extreme with that. But financially, it's been a harder time for just my entire family. So we're doing
the entire country,
but and definitely our family. So instead, we've never done like Secret Santa, but like we're doing that this year, which is different, which is fun.
Totally.
Oh, I have a question about this though, and I'm interested in what your thoughts are. When you're doing that, and then they say like it's $150 spending cap. What are your thoughts on people who go over the spending cap? Is that bad?
It depends on how far over the spending cap.
Okay, why is it bad?
Because
because I had this one gift I really want to give the person I got. But it's well over the spending cap. And I also get like a good discount on it. But then I feel like it's bad because I work with this brand. But I've never done this before. And so I'm just wondering what the thoughts are. I think the rules
are.
Yeah, what are the rules?
As long as it's not like outrageously like it's $150 spending cap and you get someone a gift that's like $500 in value.
Yeah.
That's probably a little bit much, but if it's like $300 in value and you're like, but I get a really good discount here. I mean, they don't have to know how much.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's my thing is like, I don't really have to spend that much on this gift, but the value of the gift is like $400.
Yeah. The problem is you have to gauge, what everyone else is going to do. Because you don't really want to be the person that comes in with like
the flex.
Yeah.
This reminds me of my favorite Christmas movie, Four Christmases. Have you seen that movie? Yeah. When he gets him a TV and they had like a $25 spending cap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, that's the guy you don't want to be. That's a great analogy.
But he was like, what do you mean? He's like, you don't just buy love. It's just hilarious. It's just so funny.
Now I want to know what it is, but we can talk about that off air.
Well, yeah, it's one of my favorite types of cashmere sweater.
Also, people don't necessarily need to know like how much it was.
Yeah.
I guess another rule to add is like a cashmere sweater. That can be a little bit incognito. Yeah. But like they might get home and look at no one's going to Google the price of the sweater in front of you, but they might get home and be like, and then it's just between you and the person you got the gift. I would do if it's a cashmere sweater, I would do it because then they're going to get home. They're going to be like, holy crap, this is a really, really nice sweater. Yeah. Versus like if it's this is a stupid example because it's not even close to $150, but if it's like a Louis Vuitton purse and someone opens that, it's like, obviously this is really expensive and flashy. Totally.
This is more like chic and you might not know.
Yeah, I would do it.
And it's just like people wouldn't normally, I love getting gifts, and especially in this position and the privilege that I have, like that I work with this great brand and can do that where like most people would not buy.
Yeah, take advantage of it.
Yeah. Or what am I going to do? Keep it all for myself? Like I have a lot of cashmere sweaters.
Yeah, you're just trying to be generous out here.
Yeah. But I'm interested in what y'all think about that. Like what are the thoughts about when you have a gift that is over the spending cap that you want to give? Like, is that a no-go or is it like, whatever, you're trying to be generous? It's not a TV.
It's not insane. That is a funny question.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see.
We're doing that for the first time. We might be going to, I think it's like Rock City or Ruby Falls. It's in that same area. It does like something for Christmas. So we might go and do that. So we're changing up some Christmas traditions that have always been in our family because we're in such a different place. We're all in different, like, more times in our life where things are a little bit more challenging during the holidays to do all the things. So I'm sure we're not the only family that is going through that, you know?
No. I feel like that's one of the hardest parts about becoming an adult is all of or like being in a relationship, all of your former traditions have to be modified in some capacity.
Yeah.
Like my whole family is well, not my whole family. My older sister and I are both married. And so our Christmas looks literally different every single year because it's just a toss up of who's going to be available and what we're going to be able to do.
Yeah, like whose family are you going to celebrate Christmas with, and what does their traditions look like versus yours? Yeah, it's hard growing up.
Growing up is hard. We just need to sit and watch
animated Christmas movies.
This is why we have Disney.
This is why we watch animated Christmas movies all together, or a good elf. Just can cheer you up. I do find myself the past few days that have been more challenging time of the year, just being like, I just need a good Christmas animated movie. It's all coming together now. That's how I've been coping. But I'm like, oh, it's just doing some holiday traditions. No, the thing is, we're not doing all the other traditions. We're just watching the animated movies. So we're coping with the anxiety, but it's okay. It's okay. But overall, it's been like such a really cool year. Starting this podcast has been awesome. Also really challenging, but we're like 24 episodes in, and I feel like just every time I'm growing, learning something new about myself and learning something from the conversations that I'm having. And that just kind of goes with this podcast has really helped just add another way into my life that I can continue like my purpose of continuing to grow and learn and push myself to become a better version of myself for tomorrow. And that's been cool that the goal of the podcast has really been ringing true throughout this new adventure and the few episodes that we've had. And then of course, like having this new book be announced and the writing process of that was like really awesome. And it's so crazy that Mistakes We Never Made, first of all, it's for pre-order. If you've not checked it out, and it would be a great beach read for those vacations coming up. It comes out in May 2024. That's been really cool, like finally seeing that come into fruition. And then, yeah, of course, like my relationship growing and changing and getting engaged is like a big part of this year for me, and really exciting time, but also adds like so many other like questions that I just feel like I've not been prepared for. And especially with all the personal stuff happening like within my family, it's been a harder season. It's been different than I thought the season was going to be, like once you get engaged. But just trying to navigate that, and just be, while some of those things haven't moved forward the way I thought they would, be excited and thankful for where I'm at and in my relationship. And all the amazing opportunities and things that I've got to do this year. Like I really am reflecting back and just realizing just like how truly blessed I am, and so blessed that I can do this with you guys and the people that have supported me, because I couldn't do any of these things that I've gotten to do. Even as simple as being able to give somebody a beautiful cashmere sweater for Christmas without the people that have supported me along the way. And so I'm just really, truly feeling all the gratitude and just love from everyone. It's a special time of year to be able to do that. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, y'all, seriously, I hope that this holiday season has been really special. And I hope this episode came at a great time. I feel like learning fatigue is real. And if you're like me and you're listening to this podcast normally, like it's so great to challenge yourself, like we've talked about, and learn and grow. But sometimes it's just great to be able to have a good conversation with a friend. And I feel like you guys are my friends. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. And hey, I hope you have a wonderful new year. Hope you're doing something fun. And if you're not, probably same. But take the next few days to really just reflect on what you want to bring into this new year, what you want to bring from the year that we've just had, 2023, what you want to leave behind, and what's something new that you want to add. That's kind of my way of thinking and what I'm thinking about these next few days leading up to the new year. So I love you guys and see you in 2024. Thank you guys so much for listening to the episode. Better Tomorrow is produced by me, Hannah Brown, and Legos Creative. Our producer is Andrew Stalmer. Our show is recorded, engineered, and edited by the Legos Creative team. Remember to follow Better Tomorrow wherever you get your podcasts so you don't miss the next episode. And don't forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It really helps and shows your support. You can follow me on socials at Hannah Brown, and you can stay updated on all things Better Tomorrow on our Instagram at Better Tomorrow and our TikTok Better Tomorrow podcast.